ask you an honest question. As a Nigerian first, not as a lawyer right now. If an election, there is election in November for some states, and in 2027, and some states by next year. As a Nigerian, would you, after we have given our mandate to President Tinubu and the judiciary have confirmed that, according to Ganduje, would you go to the polls? If there's an election now, would you go to vote? And why?
Well, I will answer directly that as a citizen who has always held on to the civic rights of participating in elections, and I wouldn't want that right be taken away by anyone, doesn't matter the reservations I may have, I'll still go and vote. And that's why I would also continue to enjoin Nigerians, urge them and join them to exercise that civic responsibility. And it is your right to participate in determining the affairs of governance. Who vote? But whether there are mixed feelings, certainly yes. With the expectations of Nigerians, and particularly even myself, like you rightly said, not just as a lawyer, but as a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, with expectations of improved welfare, and of course, enhanced security of my life and my property and everyone around me. And then for improved economy, social realities, better environment, and all of those aspirations that Nigeria has as a country, fortunately domiciled under Chapter 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I would go out to vote, but have reservations. Yes, so let's say, particularly to Dr. Ganduje, he would have to congratulate his political party. He would have to, he's the one that appears to be the beneficiary of the verdict of the justice of the Court of Appeal that sat as judges of the presidential election petition court yesterday. His victory for him and his political party, his victory for the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and particularly Ganduje as the chairman of the ruling party. But whether it is victory to the majority of Nigerians should be his concern and should be the fundamental question here. And analyzing the issues that were canvassed yesterday, yes, no doubt, credit to the justice of the Court of Appeal that sat as judges of the tribunal. Yes, the consolidation of the three petitions and then the consideration of the several legal issues that were emerged in those petitions. Yes, but at this time, the question or concern should be how satisfied are Nigerians with our electoral system, with the electoral process? How has this judgment come to affect the expectations of Nigerians in the electoral process and the aspirations of Nigerians to a more democratic state, particularly with enhanced electoral system? That's the question really here. So there are a lot of disappointments, and I'm also disappointed, not particularly about how the judges, the justice handled the petition and then the outcome of the petition itself, but about the realities that have confronted our electoral system and process, and particularly even with the effect of this decision yesterday. Let's be very practical about this and put in context. We have had a very skewed electoral process and elections. We have had the history of our elections in a way that Nigerians have always felt, and rightly so, that there have been subversion of our elections and our right to determine who will govern us. A system where you will have election conducted in a polling unit, and then the citizens, electorates in that polling unit, would not even know the outcome of their elections, was some history that was in fact, unimaginable in the Nigerian political system and process. Then we transited to a point where the Electoral Act 2010 got to introduce some element of electronic device in our electoral system, in the voting process. That is the card reader. Now, unfortunately, it was still the courts that held down that invention of the card reader, when the courts actually were put to the point that, oh, card reader was not recognized in the laws. That was how the decisions came up at that time. When reliance was placed on card reader, it came out from the courts that the card reader was not recognized by the laws.